Hey everyone, I'm here to talk to you about the action research project that I completed in the first few semesters in the master's program. So on my portfolio page, I have my action research tab where I talk about how important action research has been to me, because not only have I learned an important teaching practice that I can use with my students, but I've also gained the skills to complete action research in the future through finding a teaching practice that I like and then being able to research it, develop it, implement it, and collect and analyze data on how effective it is with my students. And I think this is really important for teachers because our students change not just year to year, but they change day to day as well, and you never know what's going to work with students and what might not work with students, and action research is a good way to really reflect and analyze if a strategy is right for your classroom or not. On my action research tab page, I have the abstract to my action research paper. I also have a link to my action research paper that can be downloaded where you can see all of my charts, my data, and all of my findings. And I have my action research infographic here, which I'm going to present to you. So I did visual arts in reading. And my research question was, how does the integration of visual arts affect student engagement and mastery of third grade reading standards? So the goal of this study was to show that visual arts can be integrated into academic subject areas such as reading to help students master grade level standards. A lot of times recently schools have an either or mentality because so much emphasis has been placed on test scores and academic subjects like reading and math, that the arts have kind of been pushed to the back. So I decided that I would kind of research how you can integrate the arts still into academic subjects, so you don't have to choose between just arts or just academic subjects, but you could have both of them together. So my data was collected through mixed methods approach, where I had quantitative and qualitative data on the effects of visual arts. I focused in on visual arts specifically into reading. Qualitative data was collected through surveys that I gave to my students and teacher notes that I took at the end of each lesson every day, where I noted how the students were engaged, how the lesson went, and any other notes or ideas that I had that day. My quantitative data was collected through pre and post tests, as well as the district-wide assessment to compare my students to other students at the same grade level. I can say for a fact that no one else at my school did visual arts and reading, but I don't know as far as the whole county, but I used that so I could see how my students compared to other students and their achievement on that test. So the findings of my project, it did help my students perform better than without art integration. We had a 27.82 percentage point growth from pre-test to post-test. I had some students even grow up to 52 percentage points. When I looked at the third quarter district assessment for the whole county, my class performed not only better than the other students at our school on that particular standard that I taught through visual arts, but also the other third grade students in our entire cluster. The students were also more engaged in the learning when we were doing lessons that involved art integration, and through their surveys they said that they enjoyed the lessons where they were using art integration techniques the most. So visual arts and reading has shown to help students better understand the content being presented to them and keep them engaged in lessons. It was a successful way for me to teach reading, where my students were able to interact with the content in a new and exciting way. It also showed that the arts don't have to be separated so much from academic subject areas or removed completely, because they are viewed as inferior to major testing subjects like reading and math. And the next steps that I have is, now that I have seen that visual arts integration has had a positive impact on student learning, I plan on integrating more arts into many different subject areas in my classroom, as well as implementing different types of art integration into my classroom.